Let's talk about this plan of yours. I think it's good, except it sucks. So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
Wow.
The end is near.
What's good, everybody? Back with more Avengers Infinity War news. Figured I'd kid at y'all with a couple of stories for this weekend. Avengers Infinity War is out and kicking ass. This movie has made about $250 million in a few days, which is #1 all time at the box office. The only thing that's even close to that was The Force Awakens a couple years ago. I think it had around $246 million. So Avengers Infinity War has now basically done what we thought it would do and become the #1 opening box office of all time. I think it's going to go on to probably be the movie that generates a $2 billion mark, just because of the story, the 11 years that's built into making this movie. Everything just basically comes together, and it's worth it. It's justified. If you haven't seen it, it's worth your time because this movie is epic on all levels. Thanos is the main character, which I loved. They gave a lot of background, a lot of story. It is long as hell, so if you need a bathroom break, you might want to do that before the movie. But it's completely justified that this movie will make $250 million just in a few days. Wow, that is crazy. But yeah, it's completely justified, and I'm actually going to go check it out again. I've been to seen it a few times, and I think I'm going to go actually a few more, just because of how epic it is and seeing it on a big screen with the surround sound. And I might even see it in 3D or something, just because all the different colors and powers that you see on the screen. People are just doing crazy stuff in this movie. So if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth your time. A couple of things that was left unanswered in this movie was about the Doctor Strange twist at the end of the movie. I think that was the one way he's seen out of all the ways, because if you go a little bit back in the movie, it's the part where Doctor Strange says he went forward in time using a time stone to see all the different scenarios in which they battled Thanos. And out of the 14 million or so he said that he's seen, only one of them actually they won. So if you go out of 14 million or so episodes or scenarios and you fight Thanos 14 million and a half times and only one that you actually win, I think that's why he ended up giving the time stone to Thanos in the end, saving Iron Man's life, because it's only two characters that ever came close to leaving a mark on Thanos, and that was Thor after he got his new hammer, and that was Iron Man. All the other characters got their ass whooped. Iron Man actually drew blood from Thanos and went head to head with him. Everybody's making a big deal about Captain America, him holding Thanos' hand up. Well, if you watch the movie at the end, while Iron Man and Thanos is going heads up, one-on-one, Iron Man actually stops Thanos' punch, and grabs his hand twice. So if everybody's making a big deal about how strong Captain America is, watch the Iron Man fight and watch the part where Iron Man actually is running out of suit because his suit is getting knocked off of him, and he holds up what little bit of suit he has left with one arm uncovered and one arm still with the armor on it, and he holds up Thanos' hand and blocks his punch. So yeah, I think that was a really cool touch right there with Iron Man, and the fact that he punched Thanos in the face and drew blood from him, showing you that Iron Man, the technology and the suits that he's going to make in the future, probably could stand up head to head with Thanos in the fight, just based on that one little interaction they had right there. Now, that's why I think that Doctor Strange gave up the time stone, is that he's seeing that certain people are going to be needed in the future to actually defeat Thanos. Now, the last thing I want to talk about this week is the Infinity Gauntlet itself. At the end of the movie, after Thanos basically snapped his fingers and ignited or basically disintegrated half the humanity or half the lives in the universe, the Infinity Gauntlet was destroyed. It was burnt. It was crisp. You can't use it anymore. So I think that was a one-use thing when you complete the Infinity Gauntlet and then you use all its powers combined like that. I think it is so powerful and caused such a disruption in time and space and reality that it destroys the Infinity Gauntlet and those stones. Now, I think once you do that, those stones are reborn or maybe come back in different parts of the universe. So if you wanted to go around and recollect them again, you probably could, which brings in the part where Captain Marvel's going to come in. You have Adam Warlock, you have a lot of different things, but I think that Thanos himself is going to rewind time, or somebody's going to get some sort of time stone or something like that, and they're going to reverse time and pretty much bring everybody back to life, and they're going to have one big old fight with Thanos at the end, and then they're going to beat him, but not necessarily kill him, but they're going to beat him, and he's going to leave and go back into space, plotting his next, return somewhere in the future, because you got to set it up for phase 4, phase 5, phase 6, and all that. And speaking of Avengers 4, I mean, you might even get into the parts of the universe where they start bringing in people like Eternity or the One Above All, or you have so many other characters they could bring in on a massive power scale that could rival Thanos, or that could rewind things and change the way things happen in Avengers 3. But anyway, y'all, it was just a few thoughts for y'all to think about for this weekend. Avengers Infinity War completely rocked my world. I guess you could say that old school saying. I can't wait to go back and see it again. Y'all should go check it out. But anyway, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll catch your ass out there in the universe.
When I'm done, half of humanity will still exist.